I'm actually traveling. I'm in
Okay.
Nashville, Tennessee today. Yeah.
Nashville. I love Nashville.
Yeah.
Don't get caught. What's that street? Uh,
Broadway.
is it Broadway? I went down there one time after 5 p.m. and I was like, I can't do this again. So,
Yeah,
all
it's
those I really learned what a honky tonk was. I didn't know.
yeah.
I thought growing up in the South, I thought I knew what a honky tonk was until I went to Nashville, Tennessee, down there on Broadway after 5 p.m. and I learned what that word truly means. So yeah, just during the day you can go explore down there, but like at night, leave that for the younger kids. Like I don't.
No doubt. I was in bed by 10 last night. So yeah.
There you go.
Yes. I'm an old man now. I'm like, you know what? I'm busy.
Right. There's
So
things to do during the day, right? Someone once told me nothing good happens after midnight, which I kind of am starting to believe more and more the older I get. But I see we got people from Arizona. We got somebody else from Puerto Rico. Emmanuel, good to see you here. Toa Alto, Puerto Rico, Louisiana, Austin, Texas. I was just in Austin, got to see the full totality of the solar eclipse with my kids. It was amazing. I get it. Some people are like, oh, what's the big deal about it? It's I mean, once you've seen it, it's a big deal.
yes.
So fun times in Austin here recently. We got Atlanta, of course, North Carolina representing. Uh, we got Vancouver Island in Canada. That's always good. International. We got multiple people in Canada. LA. All right. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. As I was saying, and now that we have everybody in, glad you're in. If there's someone that you think is supposed to be here, shoot them that registration link. They can jump in. Say, hey, it's started. We warmed it up for about 10 minutes, so like, come on and get in now because now's the time. So shoot them the registration link. Have them come in and join because I promise you the next 35 to 40 minutes it's going to be highly informative, especially from a mindset standpoint, guys. Because what I've learned from Cody, I've been in this industry now for 15 years as an insurance agent. I've had my own agency for 13 of those 15 years. And I would say I did not start marketing, Cody, myself and my business outside of a little bit of what my IMO helped me with. Like they kind of did it for me, but it's always different when someone's doing something for you, the results you get versus when you start doing for yourself, right? When you start understanding the mindset and the meaning behind it. And over the last, I guess, Cody, I was trying to think back. It's been 4 years since I first like really started to engage working with you and starting to appear and go and join at the 8% conferences. And we've done a ton of other things in the interim since then, especially here over the last 2.5 to 3 years. And what I've personally been able to see for my agency and for my team's ability to generate leads both on the client side and on the recruiting and building side. I mean, we're not just talking about 100% growth over what it was. We're like 1,200, 1,300%. I was talking with my marketing team just in like the email engagements that we get versus what we used to get, how we're able to fill up like every single week. I do a group interview for new agents. And you'll love this one, Cody. We do a group interview for new agents every single week. We place those agents within our organization. And on average, we're having 8 to 10 people show up for that group interview. And 80% of them come to us through some channel or some form of marketing that I've done in relation with you.
Wow.
Right. So if you're talking about 40 people over the course of a month, and 32 of them are saying, oh yeah, I saw you on YouTube with Cody, or I saw an email, or I saw a post, or like that's what first got them looking. And here's the thing that I've learned more and more about marketing. Once they start looking, it's just that first thing that captures their attention, then they start digging, right? Then they start looking at like, okay, they find out about life insurance today and my YouTube channel. And our followership on our YouTube channel when we first start, like we didn't have a YouTube channel when I started with you. I don't know if you remember that, but I told you like, oh yeah, we're started. I think I stopped and started about 3 times when we
That's
first started working together with you mentoring me in marketing. And we started, it was like, we had 20 followers, right? Like just because the people who knew me decided to go ahead and follow that account. we're up to over I believe it's 1,800. I didn't look at it today, but over 1,800 followers in the past year and a half, all organically, not nothing paid for. No, we're not buying followers or subscribers. I'm sorry. I'm not even using the right parlance, right, for
Either way, you're not.
followers,
Yeah.
subscribers, but 1,800. So, I mean, do the math on that, from 20 a year and a half ago to over 1,800, and not just 1,800 people who are just every now and again there, but like people who are engaging, who are making comments on those videos, who are then following other channels, who are linking back to and becoming either clients or agents in the organization. So this is why I was so excited to have you to share, just again, just a tidbit of the information that you have about like how can agents, in particular insurance agents, really use marketing to their benefit. What is marketing? I mean, I think that's where we can start, because there's a mindset about marketing. People think it's just buying ads on Facebook or posting a reel. Like, that's not marketing. Marketing is, there's a strategy, there's a mindset, there's a thought process behind what you're doing whenever you're marketing. So, again, for those of you who don't know me, Edward Pritchett, part of the Symmetry Financial Group, Quility organization. Been in this industry now, as I said, for 15 years, running my own organization for 13 of those. Last year, we did just over $54 million in submitted business. We placed over 80% of that when the final numbers have come in. And that's what I'm most proud to say, because that means we're helping and protecting a lot of families. And the agents that are working with me, which we're only talking about 1,100 agents to write all that business, those agents are making a strong income and being able to do something to help and protect their families as well. And I am privileged today to be able to host Mr. Cody Askins, who, if you haven't followed him and his 8% Nation revolution that he is pushing for, that he is pioneering, guys, like, this man has been in this industry, I don't want to say since birth, but your dad's been in it for quite a while. We typically say that most people don't grow up wanting to be insurance agents, but you probably had kind of at least a little push towards, hey, you should be in insurance, whatever you decide on your career path. And you were an agent, I believe, from what I remember, you can correct wherever I'm wrong on this, but in your first year as an agent, well over $100,000 in income as an agent, going out personally producing. You did that for a while, and you saw what was needed just because of your experience, your longevity, your family history in the insurance industry. And one of the key things that was needed when you decided to launch 8% was, we needed to be able to have agents share best practices, share how to market better, and get themselves out there across the industry, not just with one particular captive agency or IMO. You said everybody in the industry should know this so that we can all grow. And 8% has certainly become not just a name brand, but a brand with purpose, and a brand with people who are getting behind it more and more every single month, every single year, because we see the heart of the man behind it. And Cody wants to help. Like, he's always been this way. How can I help more agents get what they're looking for? And most agents are in this business because they want to do more for their family. They want to bring in more income. They want to have more choices in life. They want to build a legacy. And at the end of the day, we all are here because we have a passion about helping the families that we serve with this extremely valuable product, right? So, Cody, again, thank you for taking the time, even while you're traveling, to be on with us here today. And as I said earlier, and if you do have questions, go ahead and post those in the chat. If you want to make sure that we get our attention, there is the Q&A, right? And I'll be checking that and incorporating those questions into this. But any questions that you have, and we're keeping it around marketing, guys. This is a marketing webinar. We're talking about that. So questions about marketing for Cody, posted in there. I'll weave those into my questions. And then, as I said, we have a very, very big announcement. You may have already heard about it, but this is a chance today to actually take action on it at the end of the call. So, Cody, let's start off with that first question. And maybe you have something that you want to share just to kick us off. But what should be, as insurance agents in 2024, what should be our mindset when it comes to marketing, both on the marketing to the clients that we want to sell policies to and serve, but then also the marketing for those of us who are wanting to build an agency, to grow a business. How can we incorporate and kind of do both? And what should we be thinking when it comes to that?
I love that. Great question. Also, hello everyone. Hope you guys are amazing. Edward, you're awesome, brother. I appreciate you. I was honestly getting emotional and trying not to shed tears when you were sharing all the things you were sharing about us, because I remember when I first started 8.5 years ago. Um, I mean, a big goal was to eventually get the Edward Pritchetts of the industry involved in some of the things we're doing, because we're trying to bring an industry together and help people, you know? And so the fact that you're involved and you've had a good experience and had some amazing things to say is it's super humbling. Grateful for you. For those joining, if you should know Edward Pritchett. If you don't, this cat is dude, he's special. He's intelligent. He cares. He has a big heart, and he is helping a ton of freaking agents, like 1,000 a month, you know, that are writing business. It's a big number, whatever it is. And so I'm honored to be here. I'm excited that we're talking about agent marketing as well, because it's a passion of mine. You know, along the way, I've kind of given that, like, I tried to be the sales guy, and I've kind of always fought me being a marketer, and I've kind of pushed it off, so to speak. But at the end of the day, like, dude, I at the core, I am a marketer. I study this stuff. Like, I get up on Sunday mornings studying marketing and what other people are doing before I go to church, because I'm a big believer in what marketing can do for you. And so when we're answering the question, like, hey, what is marketing? It's marketing is your ability to get in front of people and help more people, you know? And so if you think about it, like Edward said earlier, he said, hey, what is, like, he talked about serving someone. At the core, I've got a question. I want you guys to jump in chat and answer for me, is who do you serve? Who do you want to serve? Like, literally from a prospect standpoint. Maybe it's agents, maybe it's consumers, whatever. Like, the point of marketing is, one of the very first steps with marketing is figuring out who you're speaking to. Who are you talking to? Like, Edward is talking to insurance agents all over the world, special majority are in the US. A lot of newer agents that are coming in looking for someone they can actually trust. Unfortunately, this industry is it's dog eat dog. It's there's sometimes there's a lot of like secret curtains that you can't get behind, and there's like Wizard of Oz and backstage and all this stuff. And this cat, like, dude, he's very transparent. He knows his stuff, and that's who he's looking for. So who are you looking for? Right. And I want you to, when you're answering this question, I want you to be very specific with this, right? Who are you looking for? Because you could say final expense prospects. You could say Medicare clients. You could say, I'm looking for, but you could also get more granular and specific. Like, initially, I just wanted to help new insurance agents. Because if you don't know my story, I made $117,000 at 20 years old while I was in college playing basketball. I fell in love with the business. If I didn't have a dad that believed in me, dude, I wouldn't have made six figures my first year. You know, like, that's why surrounding yourself with people like Edward Pritchett who believe in you and want to see you win is super important. And for most people, when I say, who do you want to help? Clients. It's like, okay, but what type of clients? Like, as an example, we rolled out a new lead brand over the last 5 weeks or so called Kaboom, my initial CA with a boom on the end. And when we're doing that, we are like, I'll talk about our term life, literally our term life insurance leads. We are targeting 30 to 59. We are targeting parents who have an interest in life insurance, who want to use that for income replacement. And we get more females that go through the forms than men. And majority are actually in their 40s. So if you're like, dude, I like talking to people that are 40 years old, that are preferably women, that are looking for life insurance in certain areas of the country. That's what I mean by marketing. Like, who do you serve? You've got to get more specific than I want to help everyone, because, dude, because I could have said I want to help entrepreneurs and business owners. The problem is that right initially, when I'm first starting off, the target is too broad. And so I chose to serve this niche. Have I thought about expanding outside this niche? 4,000 times. But at the end of the day, I keep coming back to this, because I'll have somebody at an event recently walked up with a card, a card that was fully filled out, super long card. They handed it to me. And they said, read it later. I'm like, okay. So I went back to my room and I read it, and I literally was bawling reading this card, because I'm reminded that's why I do what I do. Like Edward Pritchett gets reminded every single day of why he does what he does. You need those reminders because trust me, when you start doing well, it's easy to get an ego. It's easy to think you're all that. Dude, there's a bunch of egos in the industry. Cody Askins has had an ego along the way every now and then. I really try to do my best for that not to show and for me to be a true, vulnerable, authentic, humble self, right? That's why I love hanging out with people like Edward Pritchett, because this dude could have as big of an ego as anybody if he wanted, because of the success he's had, but he chooses not to. And then he starts attracting people, which is kind of leading me to some of my next points. He started attracting people because of who he is.
Yeah, and I mean, I think whenever you're thinking about that from that, again, defining, because what I heard is defining your purpose, right? Really getting clear about like what it, and I'm seeing them reading it here in the chat, you know, the different purposes that people are saying, like, this is what I want to do, this is who I want to be for this industry. And then once you define that, then it's like, okay, who can help me fulfill it?
Mm.
Right? And for you, it was like helping that brand new agent, right? The more brand new agents I help come in and make a strong income, guess what that means? That means that they're going to stick around longer, so we can stop with this just 8% making it, which if people didn't know, we're spoiler alert, like that's where the name came from. But like that was your who you were targeting, and I've seen this over and over again in how you do it, right? And how you pattern, whether it's the lead generation side, whether it's the conference, whether it's Ultimate Agent Academy, whether the shows that you know, if you haven't watched any of the shows, guys, I mean, you know, get on the YouTube channel and watch them. They're fun, right? Like it's fun, but it's also educational as you're going through it. But it's always been like, you can see that at the heart and at the core of your marketing practices. How can I help that new agent do better? Right. And
Yes.
for those of us who are wherever you are in the industry, there you have your market. And one of my mentors always told me, like, we have two boxes in this business. There's the sales box, right? Like, you know, how many appointments do I have? You know, dials, contacts, appointments, so that I can help my clients. And then there's, if I'm building an agency, there's the building box, right?
Mm.
What am I doing to grow my business? And what are the numbers that I'm filling those two boxes with? And I see, and I know you have those same two boxes. We talk about this every now and again, but like, you know, Cody Askins Enterprises is a business. You have a lot of staff. Like you're running a business, and you have to build a business to do what you're doing in the other box for you, which is, how am I going to help more new agents get started and get started successfully and break this 8% thing. And, you know, whereas, you know, not because we've joked about this, eventually it's gonna be, okay, we got to change it to 9% and then 10%. You know, hopefully the name of the organization changes as the years continue to go on. But actually, I don't know that that's necessarily gonna happen. I think we're just now we're gonna start attracting more people. There's still gonna be that 8%, because what I'm seeing more and more these days is that it's like 8% of the people actually do what they're supposed to do. Like it's not necessarily like the industry's fault per se. Like there's things that can be fixed, but anyway, that's down another topic. But so once someone has done that, Cody, once they're clear, and I love Brendan Bouchard for this. He talks about, you know, in high performing habits, clarity is the number one habit, right? And some people ask me when I talk about that, it's like, how can clarity be a habit? Like you can look around and see a lot of people who you can tell in their life, clear, intentionality, like clarity, like those things. Like that's what when we're talking about clarity, is like defined purpose. Like that's a habit. How many people do you know that waffle back, like they're doing this one day and then this the other day and then this the next day? Like if your social media strategy changes every 2 days, you don't have clarity, and so therefore you don't have a marketing strategy. Like when you look at Cody Askins marketing, right? If you've seen any reels, any posts, like you can see that there's a thing. Like I've been watching it for years now. It's not changing very much, and that's why you're able to attract who you attract, because it's just a reflection of, again, at the core, who you are, who you defined yourself to be. So when an agent is wanting to lay down that groundwork, and let's take this in two parts. Let's start on the client side, because I think a lot of new agents on this call right now, we all know, Leads is, can we just say leads is an issue? Can we just call, I'm not gonna call it the P word. I'm not gonna use that word, but let's call it an issue. Okay. Leads and talking to the client that is looking for the product that we have, that's an issue for most agents getting started. And some agents are able to, you know, I talked about this the other day, borrow, beg, or steal the money that they need to buy some good quality leads, or leads that they hope are good quality, because, you know, depending on where they're getting it, sometimes that's a gamble too. So do your due diligence there. But what are some ways that you talk about to agents, old and new? Because I think marketing ourselves on social media, while it's not a brand new ideal, it's relatively new for most insurance agents. Most insurance agents are used to just buying leads somewhere, you know, mortgage protection, final expense. And there was a time when those leads, it cost nothing to get them, right? When sending out mailers, like, I don't know if anyone's looked, but if you, most mailing companies out there, if you're trying to drop 1,000 pieces of mail, when I first started, you could drop 1,000 pieces of mail, Cody, for $300.
Wow.
Go check the price today. You're gonna do good if you can get that for 2,500. $2.50 for it. And then of those 1,000 pieces, if you're in mortgage protection, you're hoping 1 to 2% actually come back to you. If you're in final expense, maybe you get 3 to 4, maybe, because people have kind of gotten a little bit whatever about filling out some form that they got in the mail. And so if we're not able to embrace some of the new ways to reach our audience, like we're clear about what we're trying to do, we've defined our audience. And for those of you follow, like, these are steps that we're giving you. Okay. It's in the conversation, but these are steps. So you're clear about your purpose, what you're trying to do. You've defined your audience. Now, how can I go out and start to market to that audience? So if I'm relatively new, or maybe I just haven't done it before, Cody, I want to start marketing myself, budget or no budget, in social media to get clients to potentially start reaching out to me. How would you tell someone, like, here's what you can do to start?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it comes up a ton, and I love that you're asking it, because if you think about it, it's always interesting, because there's always like this conversation of like, is marketing more important or is sales more important? You know, and I used to say, dude, it's got to be sales, but honestly, if I don't have anybody to talk to, I don't care how good I am at selling. And I think that is the issue when you think about it in the industry. Like, people are decent when they're in front of people, but the biggest reason why only 8% succeed is because they just didn't get in front of enough people. You know, because I mean, Edward doesn't have to produce. He's got a $60 million agency. He's still, I don't know if he still is, but he was producing. And when he was, dude, he was back to producing 10, 20 grand a week, 25 grand a week, like that, because he had people to see, right? Which is a big part of this. And so then you really got to, a few different ways, right? You can find a lead vendor that you actually trust and just buy leads, right? Or buy them through your IMO, right? Those are common ways of getting in front of people, which is really smart. When it comes to the lead side, right? There's a few things that we have been doing to help the agents with contact rate. I know contact rate with marketing is a big thing in 2024. And so some of the things we're doing to help with actual physical contact rate, because again, this is a huge thing, is we are getting 2 phone numbers with every lead. We're texting the agent immediately. We're texting the prospect for the agent saying, hey, you've been assigned to this person, right? We're including a picture of the agent. We're mentioning the agent's name 6 times. We're encouraging inbound calls. We're going 13, 14, 15 fields. Like, those are ways to help contact rate if you are on that side of it, right? Now, I'm gonna spend a little more time right now on, like, okay, let's say that you have $0 or you just don't want to buy leads, right? Even though that is the most common way of getting in front of people, but we're going to take a different approach and talk about leveraging social media for free, not spending any money, and getting some clients. Like, I did a social selling challenge back in October of last year. And there's a lady by the name of Angela who started putting up videos on TikTok comparing life insurance at work to life insurance, to non-group or non-work life insurance. And she has been writing over 5K a week ever since, by organically posting TikTok videos. And she's been crushing it and doing a good job. And she was terrified. She's like, I'm not good on video. I'm like, you will get better. Just go, right? Like, new agents, like, dude, you're like, I'm not, I'm not great at this yet. Dude, you weren't great at when you first started riding a bike. Your parents held you or you fell. But the difference in people like Edward, when you want to get to his level one day, you got to keep showing up and doing it because you get better by doing. Your skill goes up, right? You learn by doing, you get more knowledge. And so let me jump into the social piece, right? So if you think about social, there's 4.8 billion people on the planet using social media, over 60% of the world, 150 million new users the last 12 months. The average, here's a wild stat. The average consumer spends 2 hours and 24 minutes a day on social media. Literally 2 hours and 24 minutes a day, right? Doing this, just doing this. If you think about it, do that 24 hours, that's over a 12th of a day. A year, that's over a month every year. 7 years, that's over a year. If you live to be 84, the average human will spend over 7 years of their life doing this, right? Insane. So it begs the question, right? And when I share that, people are like freaked out. They're like, bro, that's nuts, right? Okay. If you think about it, are you, if I ask you all the question, I want you to be honest in chat. Okay. Help me out. Are you a consumer, which means you wake up and consume content? Or are you a creator? Type consumer or creator. And don't put creator if you're not actually creating content yet. Be honest. It's okay if you consume, because guess what? We all consume too much social. But if people are going to consume it for 2 hours and 24 minutes a day, I might as well create it. Right? Now, do I think there's bullies online? Everyone's a keyboard warrior. And do I think it's affecting children's mental health nowadays and all those other things? 1000%, right? But you didn't ask for my opinion on those topics. However, there's plenty of bad with social, but there's so many good, and people are going to be using it anyway, right? And here's the 3 reasons, and then I'm going to give you some tips on how to start doing it. Here's the 3 reasons why you don't post on social media. Okay? 3 reasons. Number 1, you're worried about what others think. Type me in chat if that's you and you're worried about what others think about you. The problem with that, and it's okay to be honest, it's good, right? The problem with that, Kylie, Melvin, Connie, Linda, Leticia, Warren, Teresa, Brian, Van, right? Even Edward, is the problem is it's selfish. You worrying about how other people, what they're going to think about you, is worrying about you instead of worrying about them. Okay, that's the first big reason. Second big reason is why you're not using social and leveraging content marketing. Second biggest reason is you're worried about how you look. Dude, we're not all as good looking as Edward Pritchett. However, I guarantee his first video didn't look too good. My first video was atrocious. Go back and look. I have people that comment on this like, was this your first video? Yeah, go back and look. You can go to YouTube, go to my videos, click oldest, and it'll go back to December 29th of 2015. Atrocious. And I was worried about how I looked back then. The problem is with worry about how you look is it's also selfish, right? It is. And because it's not worried, because the biggest thing with social is you need to be focused on other people or you will quit doing it, I promise.
Yeah.
The third biggest reason is you don't know what to do content on. You don't know what to talk about. You don't know what videos to do. I'm going to help solve that problem right now. Does anybody relate to that, right? Like type me in chat if you're like, bro, I have no clue what to talk about. I'm scared about doing this because I don't know what to say and I don't know what to do, right? Is that fair? Okay. So let's do this. Somebody post in chat a market that you serve and you are looking for a video example of that market. You're like, here's who I want to talk to. Here's the content I want to do marketing on, but I don't know what content to do, right? And then I'm going to give you a couple ideas immediately. Okay. Oh, Brian Moore says small business. Phil says small business. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to shoot a video for you right now, targeted to small business owners. No clue what the freak I'm going to say. I'm going to do it in front of a couple hundred of my best friends in the industry, and we're going to hang out and see how it goes. Okay. Here's what I would do though. Here's how I think about this. I always want to hook at the very beginning of the video. So let's just assume that the individuals that commented help business owners with their group health insurance, hypothetically. Okay. Then I've got to think of a hook. I've got to think of a way to be vulnerable. I've got to think of a way to draw them in, right? And so I'm going to show you what I would do if I was you right now, okay? And give you a live example, okay? About 76% of business owners are overpaying on their group health insurance. And there is a better way that most are not aware of. And if you're like, if there's a better way and I don't know, I would love to know. If that's you, click the link below, jump on my calendar, because at the end of the day, there are a few things that are new in that market, right? There's ICRA, there's new benefits. The most of your employees are overpaying. They're leaving you to go to other jobs because the amount their health insurance is costing. These are all costing you retaining valuable team members and employees. So if that's you and you're like, hello, that's me, jump in comments and let me know, or jump on my calendar right now. Okay, so there's an example, right? Now I share that because what did I do? Let me explain what I did. First of all, you need a hook. You need a hook. 1, 2, 3 seconds. Boom. Now, I made up the stat. You should verify the stats you're going to share. I made it up because I have no idea. I'm going to add that. I don't want you making up stuff. Okay. Now, when I said that, I would go look, right? Because I said 76% of small business owners are overpaying for the health insurance. Okay, cool, right? I don't know. I'm obviously on the fly, right? But that's the hook. Like, you'll give you an example. I did a video about me doing 100 push-ups a day last year. We put it on YouTube Shorts. It got 1.5 million views, over 30,000 likes, and over 300 comments. And it was funny because there's a lot of good comments, but there's also a lot of bad comments. But I say bad as in like negative, like, oh, way to go. That's awesome. Because I did push-ups, 100 push-ups a day, 364 out of 365 days last year. I missed a day. Most people don't. It's funny because social media is all like, it's like this highlight reel. We want to be perfect. We want people to think we have the perfect life. Guess what people want? They want raw, real you, right? Like I had a buddy on my sales team. We were in Austin, Texas. We were about to go to the gym. We woke up, we're about to go to the gym. We were staying in the same hotel room. He went to the mirror and his hair was everywhere. He has a lot of hair. And he's about to go fix his hair. I'm like, don't fix it. He's like, dude, it's atrocious. I'm like, exactly. Do a video about talking about how bad of a hair day you had. And he did it. And his engagement, he had more comments on that post than he ever had. Right? Well, why do I share that? Because getting, like, being vulnerable, having a hook is important. So back to the push-up video. I missed a day last year. I got on video and was honest that I missed a day. Also later, I did a podcast about that. It was like a discipline podcast. And we took a clip from that podcast. We put it up. 1.5 million views, 30,000 likes, 300 comments. Some of the comments were great. Some were like, you freaking blew it. You're a liar. You're a scam artist. You've never done push-ups in your life. Your biceps are a lot smaller than Edward Pritchett's. You don't have a chest. There's no way this dude did push-ups, right? Hilarious, right? Just roasting me, okay? But the people that are roasting me are helping it get more views. They're helping me help more people. They're helping. Everybody's so worried about the negative. Dude, the negative helps me. I'm not saying I want to do something detrimental to my brand. That's stupid. But me doing push-ups, missing a day, and me not being freaking huge and the Hulk and the Rock, right? Like, that's okay, because it gives people a chance to see the positive or the negative. Anybody can go different ways. But one of the comments in that video said, how you started this video is the reason I watched it. That's the importance of a hook, because in that video, I said how the video started is, and we took it out of a podcast, so we trimmed it to get the right piece. But I said, I do 5 things every single day. I do 5 things every single day. I do 5 things every single day. Like, if you're scrolling through TikTok and someone says, I do 5 things every single day, would you stop 2 seconds, right? Let's see. I'm kind of curious, right? So if I go to my stopwatch, I do 5 things every single day. 1.4. That's how fast you are making a decision on whether you're going to keep scrolling or not. It's insane. And with the addition of TikTok, dude, our brain moves faster. We prejudge everyone. Everyone gets one chance. We judge a book by its cover. It's just what we do nowadays, right? So, and you should never start a video, right? Hey, my name's Cody Askins. Like, here's my first video ever. I'll show you what I did. Okay. Here's my first video ever back in 2015. Hey, my name's Cody Askins. Welcome to the Cody Askins YouTube channel. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe below. And today's topic is really going to be about this. 15 seconds, I didn't tell them anything. Why would they keep watching? Right? They're going to move on. Okay? Having a hook, being real and vulnerable is so valuable nowadays because most people are not. Okay? They're not. Right? And here's the third tip. Here's the third tip. Okay? If this is helpful today, give me a yes in chat. I want to see how valuable this has been. Okay? The third piece is think about what they need to hear on the other end of the camera. I don't shoot videos for me. I don't even shoot videos for our followers or our subscribers. I shoot videos for the new person that I've never met that is struggling and that needs help. Like I get messages from, I got a message the other day from a lady in South Africa that was homeless at one point. She's now a single mom. They don't have any money and she's struggling with insurance, right? This blew my mind. And she said, I was this close to quitting. I think about quitting every day. I've almost thought about quitting so many times. She said, but when I'm thinking about quitting, Cody, I turn your videos on and you talk me out of quitting every single day. That's why I do videos. Not for me, for them. Have I lost sight of that along the way? Unfortunately. But at the end of the day, you're doing it to help somebody else and to bring value for somebody else, not to make yourself look amazing. And I'll throw it back to Ed.
Man, I mean, so good. And I know here's the thing. Some people are gonna say, Cody, they were like, well, of course he was able to record that video about group life insurance for small business owners because he's been doing this for a while. And I would say, yes. Like you practice what you're talking about and teaching right now. And the only way for any of us to get good, because I can remember like I was very resistant to social media marketing. I did not want to make videos. I still struggle with like the way that I have to force myself to make the content that we do put out is I have to block it in my calendar, which there's one hint or tip if you need to force yourself to do it. It's in my calendar when that time, and I still try to find stuff, Cody, all the time where I'm like, oh, let me schedule this meeting here because that's more important than shooting some videos, right? And then I have my team, my executive assistant. She's like, hey, it's video shooting time. You got what you're going to be talking about today? Have you got some ideas written down? And then I go out and we start. Now for any of you, maybe it is just for right now. Start where you are. Hold up your phone and start, right? Like if I'm trying to put out a post, I saw going back up in the chat, people are asking about, IULs or final expense or term life, mortgage protection, like all these things that we all do. Here's the thing, 100% more at a minimum you said this earlier as well. I'm not thinking about me when I make a video. I'm thinking about who the video is for. What would make them stop? If I'm a struggling mother who wants to protect her kids, or I'm a client, I already have a life insurance policy, and I'm sending this out to my current clients, and I just want to get them to stop for a second and think about an IUL policy or a UL policy for their kids. What would make that parent stop and listen to what you have to say? You know what it is. Like, if you're a parent, you can probably think about it, right? I know if someone said, "Hey, who's paying for your kids' college education?" I don't know. Who is paying for my kids' college education, right? And I'm at least because all we're trying to do, Cody, right, is get them to get past that first 2 or 3 seconds and get a little ways into the video where I can actually start delivering information that makes them say, "Huh, let me listen to more. That makes sense. Huh." And then they watch the whole video and hear our call to action, and book into my calendar or message me with a DM saying, "Hey, I would like to connect about this." So, I was saying that we would talk a little bit on the agency building side, but here's another of those not secrets of the insurance industry or business in general. What works for me generating client engagement works for me generating engagement with agents.
Yes, it does.
It's not like we could go down that route and start talking about that, but like the same principles, and I just have redefined my audience, redefined the purpose of that particular marketing. Let me ask you this, and just some quick questions, as we get kind of close to the end of my time, because again, just respect you so much, and your time is extremely valuable. I hope people understand what they're getting for no cost to them. Like, there's a cost. Like, we say stuff is free. Nothing is free. Somebody is paying a cost. You're given an hour of your time. That's valuable. You could be using that to generate income, revenue, all these other things. So there has been a cost, and hopefully people are able to take this and give a strong return on investment for what you're investing right now. So one of the questions that had come up that people were asking about, and I hear this a lot, but when people want to get involved or get started with marketing, everybody gets all excited about AI. What's your take? And especially for somebody like they haven't done social media marketing themselves before, what's your take on leveraging artificial intelligence, I don't think it's artificial intelligence. It's it's algorithmic intelligence in my opinion, but we could debate that later. But what's your opinion of someone going out and paying, and typically that's what they're gonna have to do, pay a whole bunch of money to somebody to set up some AI thing that's supposed to do stuff for them. Your quick thoughts on that.
I would not do it to start. Like, it's interesting. We always try to find, and it's good to like find people to like solve problems or solve a problem with money or whatever. But you need to learn how to do social yourself at first. You really do. Like, and it's not hard. You could take that. I could take that video right there. I could go put it in a software. I don't even know if it cost money. Our team obviously uses Adobe and all this other stuff, but there's an app called CapCut that you can it can add the captions with some colorful text, and then you can take it out. You could even add a little music behind it if you wanted to, and then you post it. Like, the problem is we overcomplicate everything. And so, are there great uses for AI? Totally. But you getting started using social media initially, you're just complicating it.
Definitely. Yeah, just learning how to do, because the basics works. Authenticity is what people are looking for, and using AI to create something that's not going to be authentic. One more question, and I'm gonna launch a poll real quick that is going to lead to what we're going to close out here with. So I'm going to launch that. So take a look. You should see it pop up. Answer these three questions for us real quick. Just want to kind of see who all we're talking to here. I'm concerned about talking too much in the video. How long should a video be? And I would say, caveat on this, it definitely depends on where you post it, right? Reel, doing a YouTube long form, a short. But what would be your take, or what's kind of like that quick advice to somebody, when I'm making a video, what kind of timing should I be given to various videos based off what I'm trying to do?
As far as like length,
Yeah, I think that's what Latasha was asking here. Is just how long time wise should a video be?
yeah, I think it should be initially. If initially the easiest way to do it is keep it under 60 seconds. You can put it up because different platforms have different lengths, right? Which can complicate things. But the cool thing is if it's 59 seconds, right? 60 seconds or less, you can put it on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and TikTok. I wouldn't worry about LinkedIn and Twitter/X initially, but YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and uh, TikTok are a great place to start. If I do longer videos, trainings on whiteboards, that kind of stuff, I try to make them 8 minutes. But if it's like, hey, initial short content, under 60 seconds.
All right. All right. So as we wrap up, and guys, I know just as a reaffirmation of some of the things that I'm already doing, but just an incentive to even do better at this social media marketing and getting, I know that my marketing team is on this call, this webinar with us. And I know that's one of the things that we'll be talking about here real soon is, are we really clear in what we're doing? Are the campaigns, or where are we going? Are we clear about our purpose? Have we clearly defined our audience? Like just those two things right there will help release you to do so much more. And I mentioned this at the beginning, and I put it there in the poll. You have 8% Nation. We've talked about the 8% movement, but 8% Nation is coming up this July. We're going to be in beautiful Springfield. Like I'd say that I'm not facetious on that one. All right. Like seriously, if you haven't been to Springfield and the surrounding areas, like one of the things we're bringing, my whole family's coming because we're coming straight back from vacationing over in Europe for the summer, and we're flying straight from Paris to Springfield, which is going to be an interesting trip with the whole crew. But we're flying into Springfield, and they're heading out to I just forgot the name. Big Cedar. Big Cedar. They're heading out to Big Cedar, which I think is like 35, 45 minutes outside of Springfield, but just beautiful country in that area. So like, if you want to just kind of make it a road trip for the family, that's very doable with this being in Springfield, Missouri this July. But just want to give you whatever time you want to take. What should they be expecting? What should they be expecting in coming out to 8%? Why should every person on this call make it like a mission for this summer to be at this conference? I tell my team, my agents, that big decisions happen at big events. And whether it's, within your own IMO, which is great, but like I'm in kind of like this sounding booth, right? Like I'm just hearing the same thing reverberated over and over again. And I didn't start seeing the growth that I wanted for my business until I started to broaden where I was getting information from, and knowledge and insight and other perspectives. And so 8% wasn't my first my IMO conference that I went to in the industry. I went to other industry conferences, but since then, 8% is the only one that I want to go to, because like if you've ever watched the movie Cedar Rapids, you understand what insurance conferences typically look like. And that's what I found in most of the other places. And I was like, yeah, I'll let that one go. Let me focus on this one, which I know what I'm going to be getting at an 8% conference. So why should they be there? How can they, register? We can get, I think you have Lindsay on here. She can definitely throw up the link in the chat so that they can take a look. But talk to them real quick about this coming July. What should they be looking forward to?
Absolutely, buddy. Also, Lindsay, I think if you're listening, I think Edward has a discount code that I'm cool if you throw in the chat as well, if he is. So I think as far as events, like you always say, you said it a second ago, I was going to kick it off with that. Like big decisions happen to big events. And I've had big pivotal moments in my life that gave me ideas, or I met a relationship, or I was a part of a new community. Those moments did not happen online for me. They happened when I showed up in a room and I was in person. Virtual is amazing. This is great, but it's so much more amazing when I'm actually physically in person with someone. right? And so if you say, you know what, because like Brian Moore just said, he's been there. He said, hey, expect to change your life, dude. That's awesome. I appreciate that. We built 8% because 92% of insurance agents fail. And we built it because we want to see people win. And the best way for you to win and succeed in this industry, it's information. That's valuable, right? Whatever you don't know, you need to know. And I can promise you, you'll learn a bunch of amazing things at 8%, just like you did today, right? I can't even imagine, like this was an hour for free. Imagine 3 days where you actually pay, right? Information that it'll be 100x amount of information that you'll learn, right? You just will. Information. Also, relationships. Dude, you always hear you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. Fortunately for me, Edward Pritchett is in my network, which means because he's in my network worth is going to rise for sure, right? You need people like that. And that's the cool thing about 8%. It gives you the relationships you can be around to meet people. Dude, I've made so many. Okay, I'll give you an example. No lie. I've got a screenshot. I don't know if I want to show you who it is because I'm trying to get him to speak at 8%. But last night, I sent this to my team too. Literally last night, so there's a certain speaker that's going to be at 8% that is an actor. He was a star of a Netflix show, All American. He has a friend who's an NFL running back, very popular NFL running back. And if I said his name, all of you would know him, and he's still playing. Guess who followed Cody Askins last night at 7:38 p.m.? That NFL running back. But if I hadn't got a chance to meet this individual at an event, and then we start hanging out, and then we start sharing content together, this NFL running back would not have seen us together. That's the value in relationships. Because if I said, would hanging out with Edward Pritchett, right, Ryan Miller, Cody Askins, Brian Askins, all these other amazing people in the industry, just in the industry for now, if you get a chance to spend 3 days with us and pick Edward's brain for 3 days, would you leave better? Would you have a better chance of actually increasing your chances of success? And would the information help your business, which in turn would help your family, which in turn would help your finances, which in turn would help your bank account, right? Which in turn would help generations after you. If that's true, then getting in the room is the best way to do that. Okay, so when I share that, right, and also I appreciate Malia saying that, Pritchett Direct Agents, check your email this afternoon for the link to get tickets. That's great. That's awesome. As I'm sharing that, that is why you want to be 8%. Also, I kind of want to walk through the site if I can share it, my screen real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Cool, buddy. Appreciate that. Okay, great. So here's what's cool about it. My buddy Edward Pritchett speaking, Ryan Miller speaking, a bunch of other amazing people in the industry, right? Also, a business coach of mine that I've had for years, Coach Michael Burt. I love Coach Burt. He'll be speaking. Also, Kiki Ayers. If you haven't heard about Kiki Ayers, she's incredible. Celebrity PR expert. She was crowned awarded the top 5 women in business at halftime of the Los Angeles Lakers game by Comerica Bank. Like, that's another level that I cannot comprehend or understand, but I'm like, I get a chance to rub elbows and like, you know, hang out with her and get to like understand what she knows. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, you better believe I'm going to be picking her brain backstage, on stage, in the green room, all of that, right? Here's the actor and star of a Netflix show, Hunter Cloudis. He was a star of the Netflix show All American, the football show. He spoke last year. Amazing dude, amazing speaker, huge heart, crazy good energy too, man. Like, dude was bouncing on stage like before he even came out. You know what I mean? I love that. Also, a gentleman that I've looked up to for years. He may be the best speaker that you've never heard of. I'm telling you, my wife, Rocky Garza, my wife and I started watching his stuff about mindset and the mental game. We started watching his Instagram reels on my phone one night. And I watched one of his videos, and my wife hears it. She's like, "What are you watching?" She leans over, and we're in bed at home, and she starts watching it. And we go through about 50 of his videos for an hour, just my wife and I learning from this guy. And she's like, he has to speak at 8%. I'm like, yeah, you're right. He does. Okay. So those are some of our additional headline speakers that are not in the industry. Okay. And then we've got a bunch of amazing people from within the industry. It's July 17th through the 20th, right? It's in Springfield, Missouri, which is my home city. So I'm excited to share that with y'all, which I'm super excited about, right? It's all about community, dude, being a part of a network, the best way to increase your net worth, getting unbelievable content, getting inspired. It breeds creativity for me like nothing else. Events, my creativity flows. I don't know about you guys, man, but my creativity flows. And then connection, right? I'm more connected to the environment, to certain people. Dude, I got a chance because of this conference. I got a chance to pick. I've got a chance to pick the brain of some of the most impressive people on the planet. Okay, so the cool thing is tickets this year. They're right now. They're on sale. They're as much as $9.97 or they're as low as $97. Like I do not want money because you could drive, right? We had a guy drive to our office, spend a week with us from Ocala, Florida. He drove 17 hours, right? Like I don't want money to get in the way of us helping you. Okay. I would say this ticket right here, Diamond, is our most popular ticket. Okay. Because you get a really good seat. You get to go to all the parties, right? Which is really cool. Okay. So obviously that's the most popular ticket naturally. We've got executive where you get a seat, access to the welcome party, access to the breakout sessions. Okay. $97. Premier, same thing, but you get a little better seat and you get access to a extra party for $247 right now. Okay. And these prices will be going up soon. Diamond, you're a much closer seat. You get access to an extra party and you get lunch every day with the speakers and the top ticket holders. That's Diamond, only $497. Again, I want it to be affordable and valuable for everyone. I don't want money to get in the way of us doing working together and us helping you. Fire, $997. First couple rows, access to everything, you know, lunches, all the parties, all that, right? And then front row, we have a couple more front row available. Best seat in the house for those that want to check that out. Okay. Agenda wise, 17th, it starts at 7 p.m. with the welcome party. We're also going to do a golf tournament that morning. I'm thinking about doing a basketball tournament. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Thursday, it goes all day. There's a party that night. Friday, it goes all day. There's a party that night. Saturday, it goes till the afternoon. And then we're doing a celebration party at a roof. My team's going to be annoyed that I'm sharing this, but we're doing a celebration party for certain individuals, and we'll explain what that is at the conference at a really cool rooftop with a DJ overlooking the entire downtown Springfield, Missouri, which will be really cool. Here's some previous pictures with speakers and experience. We've had some of the biggest speakers in the world. My buddy Nate Offord spoke there several times. Edward spoke there the last few years. We were able to hit 100,000 subscribers live on stage last year with confetti going off. This is Dylan, one of the people on our team. He manages our brand. We have an amazing, incredible team. I would not be able to do this without them. I want to share that and say that because that's how you grow and scale something. It's through people. Edward has an insane amount of agency owners who are freaking incredible, and that's the biggest reason for his success. Dude, he's smart. He's amazing, but he's surrounded himself with a ton of freaking killers. And so that's why he is where he is. And that's why everybody should do it. Patrick Bet David, there's Danelle Delgado, Eric Thomas, Grant Cardone, some previous speakers who shared some quotes about being a part of this. You can go to 8percentnation.com to check this out. I would love to invite you to be there. And I would love for us to spend time together here in about 95 days. Crazy.
And it's crazy how fast those 95 days are going to go for you, my friend. I've put on conferences before. Those last 3 months, you're just like, you have to remind yourself about purpose just about every day. Like there's a purpose for doing everything I'm doing. So guys, as we wrap up, I'm telling you, you want to be in the room, as Cody was saying. If the money is tight right now, the $97 investment, if that's all you can do it. Getting in the room, right? Being at when we say party, like this isn't the Cedar Rapids conference parties that we're talking about. We're talking about an opportunity to actually hang out, engage, make those connections that Cody was talking about. Being able to walk up to the speakers at these events, shake a hand, say, hey, you know, can I follow you? Can I get on your calendar? You know, people ask, how do I get a mentor? Well, you got to go to where the mentors are, right? Shake somebody's hand, meet somebody. So I saw in the poll that we had, well, I think it's 95 individuals who have not registered yet. Hopefully by the end of today, we're gonna get that number down to a close to zero number as possible. And then from everything that you've been getting from what Cody has shared, half of you said that you never have used social media to advertise to potential clients. Let's change that this weekend. Take 30 seconds, 60 seconds, right? 90 seconds, whatever the time is, just do something this weekend using that quick video that Cody just shot. Do that, have your hook, talk to the people that you serve, right? And post it wherever you are. Like if you're on Facebook, if you're on TikTok, wherever you already have, like you don't have to go create nothing new. You all already have a social media. So go and do that. And then that is going to get that last number that we had in the chat or in the poll. You guys were saying only 25 of you out of everybody that was on this call, 165 people on this call, 25 people said, yes, they've generated a lead on social media. So here's what I get out of that 25. It means it's possible. And what I've always believed is if somebody else can do it, I can figure out how to copy what they did to do it as well. So take the information that you got from today, use this as a starter, but keep digging into this. Get registered for 8% this July. I'll be there. Obviously, you know Cody's going to be there. And there's going to be so many other people that you want to hear from. All right. The links are in the chat. We'll leave the room open for just a minute. If there's something that you want to grab from the chat, a link or a comment or something like that, do that right now. I'll play a little going out music. Cody, my friend, thank you so much as always. And yeah, looking forward. I'm sure we'll be talking between now and conference. And I know you're busy at conference, but I know we'll get a chance to chat a little bit then. But hopefully we'll get some hanging out time here soon too.
Always. I appreciate you, brother. I love you, man. Thank you so much for all you do. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for hanging with us, supporting and being here. Hopefully it can benefit you. We'd love to hang out with you at 8%. And I appreciate y'all joining. Thanks, Edward. Thanks for having me.